Hey, it's Christy Whitman, and I want to share more information on the desire factor. So, interestingly enough, that whenever we feel or have some kind of experience where it's not what we want, we can ask ourselves, what do I desire? Because as we start to ask ourselves, what do I desire, we get clear. And I just want to share a quick story before I bring in the council about this. The council had me, go to beautiful Sedona and was very clear on the kind of place to stay. And so I'm staying at this place called the Enchantment Resort. It's gorgeous, really beautiful, feel very opulent and full of beauty. Obviously, this is the view from my deck. So the council wanted me to come here and do some downloading work, which I have been, and creation of different things that I got my projects on. And so I'm sitting on the floor in this room, and I'm, listening to Native American music that they have on the TV, and I'm just in the flow of creating. And I look over, and there is a black spider. Now, I'm a freak of black spiders. I don't like spiders of any kind. And so I went over to the blinds or the drape to whack the spider off, and all of a sudden, I moved to get next to it. I moved this like a magazine rack, like one of those wooden magazine racks. When I moved it, another 4 spiders went running out from underneath it. And I was like, oh my God, it's loud out here. So I freaked, right? And I called the front desk and I said, there's spiders in my room. And the guy comes over, he looks for the spiders. Of course, they're gone because I've scared them, probably with my squeal. So wasn't too enchanted by that experience, right? So I go to bed and I'm hearing the neighbor next door, his loud TV, it's on the politics and all this stuff. And so I'm like, okay, so I put earplugs in, try to go to bed. Bed's not all that comfortable. He wakes me up at 6:30 in the morning with his loud TV, right? And so I'm thinking, I'm alone, away from my family. I don't have to wake up at 6 o'clock this morning to get my kids ready for school, right? This is my time. And I'm like, I'm not enchanted, right? So I grab the robe and I go into the bathroom and there's an ant crawling on my robe. And I'm like, that's it. No way, I'm definitely not enchanted. So I asked myself, what do I desire? And I sat there and I'm like, this isn't relaxing for me. This isn't fun. To pay this kind of money and to have these experiences, I feel stressed out. So I called and I said, I think I'm just gonna go back home. I'm not enchanted. And I was kind of making a joke. And she goes, well, let me upgrade you. I'm gonna give you a different place, a different view, and we're gonna take care of your room for last night. Now, it's not an expensive room. So I was like, wow, that's really kind of them. And so this afternoon, I'm going to be upgraded to a different room. So I'll be having different views that I go to. My point about this is that, anything that can happen. Now you're like, poor thing, you're at an enchantment resort and you had a spider, right? Is that the worst thing that's going to happen to you? If it is, I'm very lucky, right? Very blessed. These are small, tiny, minor little contrasts. I understand that other people have bigger contrasts, whether they're struggling financially or with their health. I get that and been there, done that. But I applied the same thing that I did last night and this morning to those situations as well. Fear of failure, launching something that didn't work, that people didn't want, feeling, competition and feeling like I wasn't enough or that I was a fraud or, having my health go sideways or having trouble in my relationship or, I've had lots of different things that I've applied this same question. What do I desire? If this is not feeling good for me right now, I have the power to change it. So what do I desire? And my desire obviously got me clear that I'm just going to change this. I'm going to look for what the options are and what the possibilities are. That was my phone call. I wasn't saying I'm out of here. I was just saying, what are the possibilities? And clearly the universe had even something better for me. The council had even something better for me. And so that's really what it's about, is that desires are the birthing of creation. And what it says in the desire factor is that desire is one way to bring the human and the unconscious. The unconscious is usually the default places where we create what we don't want. The way to bring the human and the unconscious part of you into alignment with the larger part of you, your divine self. Every desire you have really is a divine desire. So as I was sitting there with the council going, what does this mean with these spiders? It's like all the things that are hidden are being revealed. And that's really what this conscious work is about, is to let us reveal what is not wanted so that we can get clear on what is wanted. And that's what really a desire factor is all about. The burning desire at its core is a call for completeness, a call to return home to yourself. And in that moment, it could just be comfort. It could be safety. But whatever the desire is, allow yourself to flow with it. Let me go get the council. We are here. Yes, dear ones, spiders exist in your universe. What you do about the spiders is really what happens next. You don't have to have a bad day or even a bad hour. You could just allow the experience of what you've realized is not what you want, and then turn your attention to what you desire. As you immediately notice what you don't want and ask yourself, what do I desire? That starts you in a whole different creation process, as exhibited by Christy. Now, we understand, as Christy also said, that getting to stay at a luxury hotel and having spiders, if that's the worst thing that happens, well, good for her. We understand. But if you look at anything in your life, any aspect of your life that is out of your divine design is to have well-being. Well, any place in your body where you are not in well-being, it's not, oh, I've turned 50 and now all these things are happening. No. Your divine design is to be healthy and vital until the day you drop your body. That is your divine design. Your body is designed to carry you through this particular life in perfect health. So any place that there's contrast or miscreation of that, these are places within you that need to be brought back into alignment of the divine design. And when they show up, whether it be a pain, a discomfort, an annoyance, you get to look at it and say, what do I desire? And then flow your energy in that way. If it's a spider, what do I desire? Spider in a room, and not just one. We got her attention. Turning the attention onto what she does want. So, whether it is your finances, which is also part of your divine design, you are designed to be abundant, and that includes financially. If there are aspects in your own particular life where you're bumping up against insufficiency, a lack, limitation in your finances or otherwise, this is not your divine design. This is where you can look at that and say, what do I desire? And flow your attention to that alignment. This is why we wrote and channeled really the energy of this book through Christy, so that you understand that the things are out of alignment, they are in your control because they are in your consciousness, to return them back into alignment so that you do create what you desire. Your other aspects of divine design is success, to co-create with your divine, to allow the desires of your own unique divine self to move through you, to you catch it and say, ooh, I'd like to write a book with my divine. I'd like to create a company. I'd like to create a painting. I'd like to design a piece of clothing. I'd like to go on travel here or do this. To co-create is to desire. And desire is to co-create. And success is your divine design. You are divinely designed to have all of your relationships be loving and supportive. All of them. And if you have any of them that are out of alignment, once again in your consciousness, what have you attracted? What is it stirring up in you that you can be back in alignment? Asking yourself, what do you desire in this relationship? And move in the direction of that. You are infinitely loved and supported. Go for your desires. Be well, dear. Thank you. Allow yourselves to just receive a dousing of light and energy from the council. And allow yourselves to have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Please comment below what other topics you'd like us to cover. And if you'd like more episodes, please subscribe to the channel or check out our podcast on ChristyWhitman.com.